Okay, thank you, Marieke, and for joining us at Sibos 2025. And today we have a lot of questions, and we are trying to educate our listeners what is happening. So the first question is actually, what brings you to the conference?
Well, what brings me to the conference is actually a lot of things are happening in payments world, in stablecoin in particular, which is quite a lot of time where I spend my time. And it's fascinating to see the number of very big players that are entering that space.
Yeah, and are you looking for any specific companies, or what actually is the interest? Are you educating them? Are you helping them?
So I'm advising quite a few companies that are in the space. In particular, there is recently a consortium of 9 banks that announced that they're doing a stablecoin together, a Euro stablecoin. So it's in particular in that context that I'm here.
Yeah, okay. And actually, for me, it's always a fascination about the computational power and the power consumption, because everything is about being energy effective. And even with the technology, with the blockchain, AI, we kind of had all those technology quite for a long time. But having the computational power, having the cloud systems available for that brings us to another level. So what do you think? How AI development, AI involvement is connected to the energy?
Yeah, massive. So I think you're making a very good point. Both technology, blockchain and AI, are very resource intensive, and both actually need a lot of energy. I think what's fascinating is that they can, in a way, be complementary. So AI needs energy that is actually very acute and very close to the centers where data is being processed. Whereas with actually, for example, mining Bitcoin, you can have that quite remote, and Bitcoin can use as a store of energy. So I think it's fascinating to see actually both technology have to reduce the amount of power they need to do something, but also like both have different needs, and therefore they can be quite complementary to each other.
Yeah. This year, I was attending Stripe session, and there was a session from Mark Zuckerberg, and he was explaining like the companies are betting on AI, but no one has a really good understanding where we will have like a 100% autonomous AI, like something which can think and make decision as a human brain. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think it's true. Nobody knows, but for sure, everybody is getting in the race to do that. I think, one of our limiting power to actually go to that is how much energy we have that is available to us. I think in AI in particular, it's amazing to see the groundbreaking progress that are being made every day. I mean, I'm sure you probably saw, but yesterday, for example, Stripe announced that now with OpenAI and ChatGPT, you can directly do, purchases, and that's AI agentic. It's really going to be, done on some blockchain because there is a perfect match there. So I think it's phenomenal to see the progress of that. I think our limit right now is indeed the energy. And let's see who wins the race for this mega super AI.
Yeah, that's true. And we have 2 parameters, like how much available energy we have and how efficient we with the usage. And another one, like just compare the brain used like 9 watts of energy, doing quite fascinating computation with the image recognition thinking. And it takes a while to educate the model, maybe up to 18 years, 20 years, but then we see the results. How do you think, do we have any breakthrough in terms of the consumption during the AI usage?
So I think that's fascinating. Look, what I've seen, at least in crypto blockchain, there was a lot of pressure at some point from, governments and activists saying like, hey, Bitcoin is using too much and Ethereum too. And therefore, that's why, for example, Ethereum moved away and tried to reduce. I think in AI right now, I'm not seeing the conversation be so aggressive. So I think there is not at least, that much a need and a forcing factor on like, you have to reduce the energy you consume. But I think it will come from another place, which is, if we want to be able to do more, we just have to consume less. Otherwise, there's just not enough energy.
Okay. So that's absolutely true. And maybe the last question from our side, we see a lot of new founders and startup popping in AI, still in blockchain and stablecoins. So maybe from your experience, what would be the advice for newcomers to the industry, like what they should keep an eye on?
Well, okay. So same as you, I see a lot of founders. I think today you can create a company with less resources. I think you need to stay on your toes and be able to pivot and evolve really fast, because again, things like keep coming up all the time. And I think in particular in AI, if you develop something, you need to think of what's your edge and how close are you to the customer, because the more you look at it, and it's true, for example, of OpenAI, but Mistral and any of those, they keep going up the stack. So you also need to think, how are you going to define your model?